Hi betting experts, on Saturday the 25th of June we've got 7 cracking races on ITV on Saturday, the very best of the all-weather action from Newcastle and a competitive high-class card on fast ground at Newmarket. We start off with our betting expert Daily Nap. This runs in the 205 at Newmarket, the Maureen Britain Memorial Empress Filly Stakes, a listed contest for 2-year-olds only, owned over 6 furlongs, and I'm going to stick with George Bowie here, who's having a brilliant time of things. He had a double at Royal Ascot and the trainers had 7 winners in the last fortnight in total. Everything they back seems to be winning. He's got a lovely crop of young horses. He knows the time of day, and this filly caught an absolute tartar over this course and distance when finishing second to Morge on her debut. The winner has since run really well in defeat at Royal Ascot behind Meditate, so it's very strong form, and she was only workmanlike in landing the odds at Wolverhampton 33 days ago, but that's a very sharp track ground there. Often horses who are much better than the level they show struggle to win. They don't win impressively there, full stop. She probably didn't particularly handle the track. She remains with loads of upside back on the turf now, and I think she'll outclass this lot before going on to better things in the rest of the summer and the autumn. Our betting expert Value Angle Selection runs in the 240 at Newmarket in the Fred Archer Stakes, another listed contest over in mile 4, class 1 for 4-year-olds and upwards. Stowell looks the one to side with here of John and Taylor Gosman. Now, he was fancied by many, including myself, to run really well at Royal Ascot, but he got a very negative ride there over in mile 6. Perhaps they're a little bit worried about stamina. He never really landed a blow, which is often the case at Ascot on fast ground. You need to be handy. It's very difficult to make up ground from miles off the pace. I think they'll be much more positive here. Rob Hablin's booked. He'll know more. I think it's back to 1 mile 4 and perhaps from the front on this sort of quickening ground it'll be hard to pass. I think he's got a touch of class. He's only had 6 runs on the turf. The yard's in brilliant form. They've actually had 12 winners in the last 14 days at a 24% strike rate, the Gosdens, at the time of recording. The remaining 5 races on ITV, we'll do them in time order. The 150 at Newcastle, of course, on the all-weather surface, a 6-furlong handicap, 0 to 100 for 3-year-olds and upwards. Well, Be Proud comes from another in-form stable in Jim Goldie. He's chugging along nicely at the minute. He had 1,000 winners last week. A pretty remarkable feat. He's been going for a long time, Jim. Always churns out regular winners, and Be Proud is a tough, consistent sort, a previous course winner, over 5 furlongs here, but he's got plenty of form at 6. He'll be looking to pounce late under Paul Mulrennan. Staying at Newcastle, a 225, the Group 3 Chip Chase Stakes over 6 furlongs. Well, Sense of Duty comes from a red-hot yard in William Haggis, 9 winners in the last fortnight, and this progressive filly showed a terrific attitude to lend hefty market confidence at Haydock 36 days ago. She's now up in class to Group 3 and switches to the all-weather for the first time, which might mean you get a fair price about her, but there's loads more improvement to come. I think she's only had 4 career starts so far. It's typical William Haggis, gradually improving run to run, quietly stepping up in class. I think she'll go in again. Staying at Newcastle for the 255, the consolation for the Northumberland Plate, 2 miles and half a furlong, class 2 for 3-year-olds and upwards. Well, Jeremiah's likely to be a big price here. It was very disappointing last time and well backed at Musselburgh. We've watched that run back, never really got involved under a negative ride, and Musselburgh's just very sharp track, very hard to come from off the pace there as ridden. So go back to the run at York when he finished a cracking 3rd of 17, shaping like a surefire future winner from this kind of mark, and I think you're worth sticking with Jeremiah. It's likely to be a huge price in a very competitive race. Back to Newmarket for the 315, the Criterion, a Group 3 over 7 furlong. Tom Clover, a young trainer, going places. I like Bass Player here at the prices. This one impressed when making a winning debut at Doncaster in April, and then was a big eye catcher at Epsom 22 days ago. Now, I've said about Epsom before, you can be duped a little bit. Horses roll around on the camber, and he certainly did. His inexperience proved very costly, hanging when making rapid headway in a fast run race. But I think on a flat track here, or a flatter track at Newmarket, wide open spaces, fast ground, I think he'll take a bit of beating. He's got a lot more scope to improve than most of these rivals. And finally at Newcastle, the big betting race of the day, the 330, the William Hill Northumberland Plate, a race with a long history, over 2 miles and half furlong, 3-year-olds. That was a heritage handicap, great prize money on offer. Well, Rajinsky comes from another yard, Hugo Palmer, who's done really well in the last few months since taking over from Tom Dascombe, and this useful stay has been really thriving like so many from the stable in recent weeks. His Ripon win in April has been well franked since, chance at Royal Ascot by Get Shirty, who was placed that day, and I thought he looked an unlucky loser of the Chester Cup last time out over 2 mile 2, having been set a lot to do and suffering quite a rough trip through. He's progressive and he should go really well if he handles Newcastle. Best of luck with all 7 ITV races on Saturday, betting experts.